Hello everyone and welcome back to Castlecraft. Last episode we did a whole lot of things. We relocated some of these houses, we built this giant staircase, and we terraformed a whole lot. We also connected this river behind me and some guys have already been dancing in it, as you can see. But one thing I definitely kind of neglected in episode 1 was this part of the base, which also just needs a bit of terraforming. We need to get rid of all of this so we can make the river a bit bigger, and we also need to get rid of this. Because yes, for now it is kind of the back of the village and we don't usually go here that often. However, once we actually move to the mountain, we will be able to see this part and we can't just have it be ugly like this all the time. So that's definitely on the agenda today. Back to the front over here, I said last time that there needs to be a lot more detailing on this staircase. So that's also something we need to do today, but there should be something that's gonna come up in the middle here, which I think is gonna contrast the white quite well. However, look at my inventory. My armor is almost broken. I have stone and iron tools that have been breaking all over. I just can't live like this anymore. So today we're going to gear up. And maybe we're also going to build a little bit of an enchanting place. And I don't just want to put it like out in the open. No. I want to put it in one of these houses. And I think I have the perfect one. I just somehow need to get up there first. 1 second. I should really make this more accessible by putting in stairs and pathways. Here we are. This is the place and it doesn't actually have a door on this side. We actually need to go all the way around. I think I'm gonna have to change that. There's so much space in this and I actually still need to get rid of all of this because there was something in here that I took out because it just didn't quite fit the vibe. We can just put in the enchantment table right in the middle, bookshelves all around. I mean, we already have some bookshelves over here. And then over here, we can actually put a place with barrels where we can store all our lapis and all the enchanted books that we have and all the other stuff that you need for enchanting. So now I just need to choose one of these projects to start with. And I think this one is kind of the most important one, so it's probably the obvious choice here. On my first day on the server, I actually mined a few diamonds already. I just need to collect all of them. And that makes 42 in total. That's actually so many more than I thought I had. But I guess if you have a chest monster and just put stuff wherever, you kind of lose track of everything that you do actually possess. I also actually have a book, so that means for an enchanting table, I only need 4 more obsidian, which I do not have in my collection. However, if we just quickly make an iron pickaxe, a diamond chest plate, leggings, and boots. And you know what, let's just make a sword as well, and an axe. I didn't make a helmet because I actually already have one of those, but I kind of can't remember where I got it from. It was either out of a village or a shipwreck or one of the many chests I've been looking through, but I found one and it has protection 2 and respiration 1 on it, so that's pretty good. And now I can just switch all this out and boom. And yeah, you can't actually see that I'm wearing the armor because I have a resource pack on that makes it invisible. Here we go with our enchanting table. And now we just go back to the actual house where we want to put the enchanting setup. And yeah, before I place the enchanting table, I do have to get rid of all of this. Now the big question is, do we want to put the enchanting table right in the middle of the room? Or do we want to just put it further in the back so we have more room to stand here? Personally, I think we're just gonna, I think this is the middle of the room, so right here. Wait. Oh, this might not have been the middle. I think we need to move it one over. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yes, this is actually the middle. So now I just need to make a whole lot of bookshelves that I'm gonna put around this. And I think for the back, we're either gonna leave it blank so we can just walk around, or we're also just gonna decorate it with a whole bunch of bookshelves and other stuff. I have one more bookshelf than I actually need, but I just really wanted it to look symmetrical. Yeah, now we have level 30 and we can actually enchant. What do we have? Efficiency 4? I think we're actually gonna take that already. Yeah. Okay, we only have efficiency 4. Fine, okay. I'm breaking free. Please, 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 please let there be more. Oh my god, what is this luck? And on my sword, sharpness 3. I think I'm gonna not do sharpness 3 at the moment. We're gonna first see what's on the chest plate. Prot 3 or... oh god, if there's just unbreaking 3 on this... Okay, blast protection 4, that's fine. Fire prot 4, sure, I'll take that. And on the boots, yes, okay, that's what I really wanted. And we got fire prot on it as well. But Depth Strider, oh my god, Depth Strider is such a lifesaver. I'm just so happy that we actually got all of this enchanted now. And we can actually get going with our plan, which means... we're gonna have to do terraforming now. Oh boy, oh boy. All this deep slate basically needs to go because it just doesn't fit with the aesthetic that I want to go with, which is just white as a base color. And then I know we don't have that yet, but I really, really want there to be just a colorful mix of everything. But deep slate is basically just a little bit too dark for my color palette at the moment. I think I might have gone a little insane over the holidays. So I was placing down this path, but then realized I didn't like how it looked. So I redid it all. And as you can see, I also placed a whole lot of moss. And I'm just gonna quickly go into FreeCam here. I do mean I placed a whole lot of moss. Like every single surface, there's not a single dirt block anywhere to be seen. It's all just moss. However, I'm not quite sure what to do with this area yet. I'm just not sure if I should get rid of the coarse dirt that's here, but I do kind of like the transition from the moss to the coarse dirt to the stone, because it is just a really stony area. And yes, I do need to still get rid of this broken nether portal. I'll do that eventually. But I just don't know how to connect the path to it. Like I have these andesite slabs and then just normal path blocks here. I just don't know how to get the white pale oak into this mix. Maybe just a little bit, or should I leave it like this? I'm not sure. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Now, if I'm gonna look over on this side of the river, I also did a little bit of terraforming over here. There are now less holes, but I do still have to decide what I'm gonna do with this bit over here, because from the front, it looks great, right? It kind of looks like it's supposed to be this way, but once you're up here, it's just a massive hole. So I'm gonna have to think about something there. Plus there's still the transition over on this side where it goes into the savanna, and there's also this kind of ravine thing right here that I also don't quite like, which I also have to figure out at some point. But you might have also seen this, and I mean, this moss didn't just come from anywhere, right? So let me hop over there real quick so I can show you this bone meal farm that I made. I used a tutorial on YouTube and I will link it down in the description. I did modify it a little bit. Like, I'm not good at redstone, but this is kind of what it's supposed to be. But instead of putting 2 composters like in the original video, I decided to make it a little bit more complicated and have a double chest over here which feeds into all of this. So now I have also just moss blocks and all the other good stuff like carpets, wheat seeds, and flowering azalea bushes. Speaking of farms, if we go in the direction of behind me, there's a giant ocean over there. And while I couldn't really record anything over the holidays, I decided to just make an iron farm. I've been AFK here for some hours and it's been steadily producing. There have already been some stacks taken out of this, but I don't think I'll ever have to worry about iron at any point on this SMP ever again. I also decided to make a resin farm, mostly because one of the members needs a whole lot of resin, but this way I can also use it for myself. And the way I use it is I just click this lever and then I just start swinging away. And yeah, as you can see, I still have quite the backlog of resin in here. Back to my actual base, and I have to say I love that it's finally coming out of its ugly duckling phase. I don't love, however, that I always constantly have to get my feet wet whenever I have to go through the river to get to this side of my base. And I think I've said it before, but I want to turn all of this into a giant farm. Not an automated one, but just a whole lot of wheat fields or cabbage or tomatoes, all the good stuff, because we have so much space over here and I don't really know what else to put. Plus, we do need a lot of food. So the next project I'm gonna tackle is a bridge that goes from right over there to over here. But that also means I have to take the terrain of this quite a little bit, because if we look at it from down here, it's just kind of a wall and that doesn't look good. Like if you have a bridge and then just immediately have to climb, that's just not looking good. The bridge itself is just gonna stay in the same color palette as this, so birchwood, calcite, diorite, and probably some pale oak as well. This is already so much better. The actual bridge, I think, is gonna end somewhere around here, which means I only have to go up 2 blocks and then we can kind of go to the right over here and then head towards that house. And then the rest of this area will just get turned into a crop field. But that's for later. For now, we're just gonna build the bridge. And here we have it. I decided to go for a more elevated kind of bridge. This way I can actually go under it with a boat if needed to. But also, while standing on it, I just have the perfect view of the castle that we're currently living in. And this just makes me so happy. There is, however, one thing that I still need to do, and that's lights. I haven't really lit up anything other than this staircase, and honestly I might switch out the normal lanterns to copper lanterns. But for the area that are here, like this is a bottom slab, so nothing will spawn on this, which is nice. But for the area in front of it, I will need a little something. And that little something are some pale oak shelves, some pale oak trapdoors, some cyan glass, some blue glass, and some armor stands. I'm gonna use the shelves and make a little thing like this. And then on the inside, since we actually need some light, I'm gonna put a torch. On this torch, I'm going to put the trap door so we don't actually see this one. And now for the armor stands. I'm gonna put this right here, and then we have a little mod installed. So I can shift and right click on it, and if I show the arms of the armor stand, I can now place this blue glass in it, and then I can make it do a pose like this, turn off the gravity for the armor stand itself, and then kind of see where I want to position this armor stand. And it's basically right over this trap door. So if I just scroll wheel it back, yes, there we go. I also want to make it small, which means I need to scroll up. And I don't know if you can see where this is going, but it's definitely going somewhere. I need to make it a little bit smaller. That's too small. Maybe like this. And then up a bit. Let me fiddle with this until I think I have a good position for it. Alright, I think that position is good. And now for the last step, I'm gonna make the armor stand itself invisible. And now if you look at this, we have a tiny little floating glass. And the good thing is I'm gonna do that 2 more times with another blue glass and then another cyan glass, and I'm kind of gonna stack it up like this, so it kind of looks like particles are floating above this, kind of like this. So now the torch is giving off light through the shelves, which means there's no creepers or bad guys spawning in here. But we also have these lovely little glass particle effects, which I find just kind of neat. And I'm basically just gonna put them on all 4 corners of this bridge. I do have to say, I absolutely adore the armor stand mod, and I'm definitely gonna do more shenanigans with this in the future. It's such a tiny detail, but I absolutely love it to bits. But okay, now that I finally have this connection between, well, I guess the main part of the base and this place over here, I think it's time we turn our attention, yes, to the back of the base. Because I fear if I don't do that now, I will forever procrastinate it. Past me was actually smart enough to already plan out this area, at least somewhat, so I'm just gonna dig out this half of the place, which means it's all gonna get turned into a river, as I said, I think I said it in episode 1, but this river is gonna get wider, just like we did on the other side. I will have to move some of these animals, and yes, I do have a bunch of horses, but I also moved my farm over here because I was running out of food. But that all needs to go so that we can have this river go up until here. All our houses are gonna stay though. Because 1, I don't really want to move them. I'm a little bit too lazy. And 2, I don't see why they would have to be moved. But yeah, after that, I will also have to take down this part. What is this horse doing over there? Anyway, but this thing also needs to go. So yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna work on now. Well, this didn't actually take this long. I also turned everything into moss and I put in the pale oak paths. I really don't know why I kept procrastinating this so much. And yes, it's a little bit rough, but to be honest, it's the backside and I don't know how much we're actually gonna keep looking at this. So I think it's fine if it's a little bit rough and not quite as well thought out as the front, okay? Don't judge me. But yeah, there is actually one more thing I need to do, and it has to do with this building up here. If I go into FreeCam, you can see that there's this little building right here, and in my opinion, it kind of looks like a watchtower. I think it has basically the perfect position, right? It's elevated, it's looking out over the sea, it's really close to Solspire Mountain, and it's also looking along this riverside, plus kind of overlooking the town as well. So my thought is I don't really have a path to go up and down on this side. I do have the path that goes from the staircase, which I just remembered I haven't connected yet, but basically it's gonna connect right here, and then if you follow this path all the way up, then that's how you get to this place. But from here, you also don't really have a good path to just get to this section. I'm just gonna look for those 4 corners of the tower and then just dig through this little part right here and then basically extend the tower all the way to down here where I'm standing. And then on the inside, it's just gonna be a basic ladder or maybe some scaffolding, and this way we can just get up and down quite easily. I'm just going to take this corner and basically make a path downwards. I also gathered all the oak that I have in my chest, so hopefully that's gonna be enough to... Oh, I probably should have, known that that would happen, but okay. So from here, we just know that this is one side of it, so we can just... I can't even reach that, that's fine. We're just gonna tower up with this. And then whoop, and that's 1 corner done. And I'm just kind of gonna repeat that on the other 3 sides as well, and I should stop doing that. Now all I'm really gonna do is fill this out with oak planks, and maybe we'll add some windows in the future. But down here there also needs to be a door. Why do I keep misplacing these? The last thing that needs to be done is actually make the way up. So I'm just gonna remove this block and then we can just... Wait, can I make this clutch? Probably not. Oh my god, I actually did. But yeah, now we just do this. Put a bunch of scaffolding down, and that is not enough yet, but that should be. And now we can just make our way up and down whenever we want. Well, that's basically all I wanted to do for today's episode, but since I'm up here, I should maybe visit a friend.
Okay, but like that doesn't make sense. What over here. And then, but like...
Brie?
Okay, but like...
Hi, how's my favorite advisor?
Hi! Hey, hello, advisor. Wait.
Yeah, advisor.
I'm your advisor already?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, well, I wasn't, you never officially asked me, and then, like, you know, I was practicing my speech. I made a plushie. But I was practicing my speech, and, like, but, like, if I'm already your advisor, cool, hey! Right.
Oh,
my God, hi, Moose, hey.
Hi, I guess I never realized I didn't make it official.
That's okay, I've been busy doing research, so, like, I could have missed it, who knows. There's a lot going on. Like, have you heard about the Nether?
I haven't.
What's
that?
In the Nether, there's soul sand, and how do the souls get in the soul sand? That's my question. Like, is it sand that they've like put souls in? Is it like bad souls? Is it good souls? What kind of souls are in the soul sand? What is soul sand, you know?
This might be a really important discovery for our people. Excellent job finding this information, Brie. How do we get to this place?
So you build a portal, and then you light the portal, and then you stand in the portal, right? And then you go to Nether.
Oh. So it's like...
I heard it's red.
It's red. Huh. But is it safe?
Red.
That
surely it's fine.
I don't know. It sounds kind of scary.
No, never. I might have heard about like one or two things, but like it's fine.
Okay, well if you tell it like that, then if you tell me how to make the portal, I can show you where to build the portal. Is that a deal?
Deal. You just need like at least 10 obsidian. If you want like the corners, you need 14. But like obsidian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can get that for you.
Okay. I'm excited. I've been doing so much research.
So, you want to go build the Nether portal right now?
Sure.
Okay, let's go.
I'm down. Let's go.